mentioned
Hey, fellow
earlier.
theme park fans, England Teen here, and I'm with Dalton, the Authenticator. There's some
Hello,
stuff
everyone.
going on. There's some stuff going on with the whole Splash Mountain thing. My thoughts have always been the same, and I love Splash Mountain. It's one of the greatest rides ever in Disney. Hands my favorite ride. And while I got to tell you something, I'm not against the retheme. I'm really not. I think it doesn't fit there. I think she should get her own ride in Liberty Square. It fits better, or maybe at the end somewhere of Main Street. That's her timeline. It's not Adventureland. But I hate the reason. I don't like it when people call Song of the South a racist movie. It's not. Most people who are calling it that have not seen it. They just haven't. I'm sorry. When you have the only character that has their together and is intelligent be the black guy, I'm sorry, it's not. What everybody's complaining about is there is a part where you do see some black people singing. So they're like, oh no, everybody's racist because they're not in misery. Like they couldn't find happiness in some way, shape.
Well, the logic and air quotes the size of a freaking planet here. But the logic goes that by portraying them as happy, you're actually making excuses for slavery because they've been brainwashed into being happy with their position in life.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is incredibly stupid. It's stupid. Okay, but this attitude I've got is what has been causing trouble. You see, there is no there are very few people in the middle of this who aren't yelling back and forth at someone who disagrees with them, and that has become a problem. And so we get this right. We get this that is Splash Mountain fight turns ugly.
You're glitching, by the way. You've glitched twice now.
Yeah, we actually went off air. We went off air for a little bit. It says, let me get my glasses back on. Walt Disney Resort officially said goodbye to Splash Mountain in the Magic Kingdom on Sunday with massive crowds. As a matter of fact, the crowds were so massive as they attempted to board the ride for the last time because everybody loved it. You racist assholes. As a matter of fact,
like the people who complain about what makes the red man red in Peter Pan.
Oh, that's going to be something we're going to talk about in just a little bit here. See, I think the people who are against Splash Mountain are racist because they got rid of every freaking person who is not white. Every company logo that isn't white is now removed from the grocery store. And now they're doing the same thing to freaking Disney. You have to get rid of it if it isn't white. That is their message. Although they hide it behind this, oh, we love we don't want you to be. No, they are freaking racist as hell. And that's what's going on here. All right. So anyway, it goes on to say, as a matter of fact, the crowds are so massive as they attempted to board the ride for the last time that they extend outside of Frontierland and into Liberty Square, where the Haunted Mansion is located. Holy crap, that is a long, long wait.
That's a bit of a line there you got.
Holy shit. Yeah, the attraction reached historical wait times of more than 220 minutes, which was a Walt Disney record, and it had Disney World guests staying until the very end as they said goodbye. This is a beloved attraction. It is a great attraction. Unfortunately, the reason why I'm okay with them at least shutting it down for a while is because Disney let it fall apart. That ride barely worked.
Because it's the redheaded stepchild of the Disney canon that makes them uncomfortable every time they remember it existed.
I have no idea why they did that, but people love this ride, yet Disney let it go to pot. And this is before the, by the way, this is before the controversy. This is before the racists came up and said, hey, black people are in that. We have to shut it down.
Because they're not the kind of black people we want to see in things.
Racists like Erica here, who posted a tweet saying, bye-bye, you won't be missed. Yeah, you will be, because you're
no, awesome not by you, but maybe by other people.
Based on wait time Sunday alone, I think it's safe to say a pretty good amount of people will miss this. Kind of hope Tiana has little to no waits to prove that Disney Splash should have stayed. At the very least, Tiana should have gotten her own ride in somewhere that the time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm not against the Tiana ride. I love the Princess and the Frog.
And I've been saying for years that a Faciliate tarot parlor in the style of the Enchanted Tiki Room with the mask, you know, being the friends up on the other side would be really cool. But whatever. I guess we don't get what we want because we have to hush the Song of the South under the rug.
Lady. I am so not surprised that that's a white lady. You know, once again, you got to get them black people out of the grocery stores. Got to get the black people out of Disney, man. We can't have it.
Because they're not how we would like them to be presented, therefore, is basically the logic.
Today marks the end of Splash Mountain at Walt Disney World. It's sad to see this ride go, but I can't wait to see Tiana Bayou Adventure. In my opinion, it was time for a change because you could tell the animatronics are getting old. Yeah, they are the animatronics that was from a show in the 1970s. So yes, I agree. This needed an update. So I'm not actually against the change. I just don't think Tiana's Bayou Adventure really belongs in Adventure. I guess it does.
No, it could have been modernized in the same way that Haunted Mansion was in like 2006-ish.
Well, I think the Magic Kingdom needs an overhaul. They've because this is the busiest. They don't do so much like we are so out of date compared to, say, Hong Kong Disney or Disneyland even.
Never mind Universal's right next door, and they're
Universal's having a field day. Yeah. Even SeaWorld insulted Disney today. While some conversations were civil, many others took a dark turn and became nothing more than fights over the internet. Many claim that if you're sad about Splash Mountain leaving, you must be racist. Others claim that if you wanted the Disney park attraction gone, you were woke. Yes, you were. Because you want it gone for woke reasons. Look, I want it gone because it's breaking freaking down. And if they won't do the proper, maintenance,
refurbishment,
unless they're just tearing the whole thing down and rebuilding it, then tear the whole thing down and rebuild it. Because it's right now, we've had more freaking boats sink in the last 2 or 3 years than we did in the entire history of this attraction. If you're not going to take care of it, then redo it. That's my take on it.
And the reason why people want to close with the breakdowns is that he wasn't involved in any of them.
Okay. While we aren't going to share some of more hateful conversations that have happened on social media, it's not hard to find that many people, millions upon millions, have opinions on the attraction's fate. I will guarantee you most of the people who are saying this did not watch the movie. In the end, Disney elected to change it because of the controversial Song of the South, which has forever been put away in the vault to never be seen again. Bullshit! I'll go get my DVD.
I have a slightly different focus on this part because it's like I actually want to see the hatred because this is the biggest problem with the SJWs, or I guess what we're now calling the woke for rhetoric's sake.
Yeah, it's the same.
I
always figure they are SJWs, and what they do is woke.
Yeah, they never bring receipts, and when they do attempt to bring something they define as receipts, everyone else looks at it and goes, "That's not hate. That's just internet banter." And you would think if we lived in a proper journalistic society, if there really was this shadowy hate group going around, there would be actual exposés on it. The problem being is you can't do any exposés on this hate that aren't inaccurate because it doesn't functionally exist in the way you're implying it does, and you can't make exposés, quote unquote, on it without making it one-dimensional propaganda because that's all you can see.
It goes on to say, though many wanted the attraction to be saved, Disney decided it was time to move on and has come up with a retheming idea related to Princess and the Frog. Pocahontas, by the way. Pocahontas would have fit there more. And this is another thing that they say, the whole thing, the reason why it's woke is because, one, it doesn't fit in the Adventureland as well as, say, Pocahontas. Pocahontas, by the way, is Indian. and they're American Indian. And therefore, yes, it's not white, guys. That's what you want. That's what the woke wants. It's not white. So put in Pocahontas. It fits better. There's actually a freaking song in the movie where she's going over a damn waterfall. It fits better.
Angleton, the reason they don't want Pocahontas is because they also treat Pocahontas, albeit to a lesser degree than Song of the South, as problematic, because it tries to paint both sides as though they're problematic, and we can't have that, even though they most definitely were both
shock and surprise that
beings.
everything is unenjoyable to the woke. Why the is Disney listening to them, really?
Yeah,
because they're based in California. They're based in California. I'll tell you what, just little confession here. I am now at a point where I just do not give a freaking hell about ever going to the park again. I really am at that point. I'm mainly at that point because of the way they treated their annual pass holders. I'm mainly at that point because they're still doing the reservation system. I'm mainly at that point because they have treated you as a fan very badly.
The problem.
Seem to believe that you are lucky to go to Disney rather than they are lucky that you want to go to Disney. And that is a freaking turnaround I cannot get behind. That's the way Iger has been acting. I'm not one of those that were like, oh, JPEG, woo. No. A lot of this shit started under Iger. JPEG just ramped it up. He was horrible.
He was stage 2 cancer instead of just stage 1.
But I wasn't cheering and woo, Iger's back. No, he's the one that started it. He's the one that said to you, well, I see that you like to sit over here when you watch fireworks. So if you want to sit over here from now on, you got to spend $69 on a cupcake.
He's a lawyer from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Basically
if you want to sit in this part of Epcot while the fireworks go on, yeah, you got to get a dinner package. Or if you want to be in the front row of a concert, forget the fact that they don't tell people this, that they don't go up to the people that sit down hours before the concert and say, yeah, you know, you're not going to get a front row unless you get a dinner package, right? So those people still sit in the freaking heat for hours thinking they're going to get a front row on a concert.
Oh, that's
no, they don't
low.
tell them.
Ooh,
they do not tell them. And so you have people waiting in the heat. That's what Disney does. So do not give me any of this. Yeah, I'm over it. I'm over Disney and their agenda, which they freaking admitted to, and I'm over them treating customers like they're lucky to be there.
And by the way, that's a lifelong customer talking that would have died for Disney not 5 years ago. I
have got a picture of me going as a baby. So Splash Mountain is taking Disney Park guests on gentle drift through. Okay, hold on. Though many wanted to trip. When the attraction opens, you'll join. Okay, so this is all just the bull crap. So basically, people are getting mean. Now, I agree with this. Look, it's time. It's time to close a lot of Disney and fix it. It's going to pot. People are right now. I think there's actually a website where you can go and you can see all of the stuff that's wrong with Disney now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm
this
just
one didn't get comments, but that's my take on this whole thing.
I'm just really glad that they refurbished Haunted Mansion back in 2006, so that when I went in, I think it was like 2011, because I was still in high school when I went. When I went in 2011, Haunted Mansion was my absolute favorite ride that we went on, and of course it's, you know, ghosts and the supernatural, so I was always probably gonna like it, but they kept it basically as pristine as you could imagine, which, again, given that it was refurbished back in 2006, it's still impressive that they were still keeping it pristine in 2011. But yeah, honestly, that's more of what I would like to see from all of these older rides. Refurbish Jungle Cruise, refurbish Song of the South rather than redesigning it. Refurbish all of these, because you've got the money. It's a worthwhile investment because it'll make your park goers willing to invest more, and it will give them a more enjoyable experience. And I don't know if literally just everyone in Hollywood has forgotten this, but it used to be well understood that when people are happy, they spend more money because they're less self-conscious about
By the way, people are getting pissed. People are getting pissed. There's more fights breaking out because Disney made going to Disney stressful as hell. It's not fun anymore, kids. I heard Universal is doing a new Chucky thing. Forget what exactly. Yeah, I actually heard that they're going to be a part of a horror. It's going to be a permanent thing. Like it's going to be a permanent horror thing. Chucky might be a part of that. I'll keep you posted on that. This is a T-shirt now that all the woke people are going over. And let me tell you something. And this is also something. These SJW, the woke thing, they will not stop. This isn't about, oh no, we have to get it's so offensive. But what this is I have power. These weak people who sit at their house, they make the right complaints, and big corporations jump and they
you have been morally conquered, basically.
Well, what else can we do? Let's see what we can do. So this T-shirt was seen at Disney Springs and they want it gone. Obviously, Disney's trying to get rid of their stock, but right here is Brer Rabbit. Nothing wrong with freaking Brer Rabbit, you jackasses. But there he is. They want that whole T-shirt gone because of that.
But we say so, and we're the ones in control of the moral zeitgeist, therefore.
Oh yeah, you gotta get rid of it all because we said so. So it closes.
We have the moral high ground, herder.
It closes up and the walls go up. So look, once again, I'm interested in seeing what they're gonna do with it, but I don't know. They've got to change a lot of stuff for me to become interested in going again. Tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where else do I now that one person said that nobody cares. It's a racist thing and nobody cares and whatever you say.
Counter evidence everyone that cares. Like just because you would prefer to live in a world where nobody cared and where your worldview was the only worldview does not make it so. Just like back in the day when the evangelical Christians would get their pants in a bundle over something, they might prefer to think they had the moral high ground. They might prefer to think they spoke for literally everyone, but it just ain't so. Most people want to live their lives, want to express themselves, and want to have fun and engage with the things they enjoy. And anything, be it a moral system, be it an ideological system, be it whatever, that gets in the way of that will be necessarily shown the door. This is what the 90s taught us, if anything else, though.
According to Thrill Data, Splash Mountain hit an all-time high wait on its last day. The ride has consistently been showing 220-minute wait time, which beats out the previous record of 210 minutes that was set back in 2020 with the likes of Star Wars Rise of the Resistance and Avatar Flight's Passage. All right, there you go. People love this attraction. It is so good. Watch Song of the South. Do you know what you're going to find out when you watch Song of the South? My kids watch Song of the South. Guess who's not racist? My kids. Guess who's actually woke? Elizabeth. So anywho, guess what? It doesn't do a freaking thing because it's a movie. Now, here's something you'll find out if you
also
watch
Uncle Remus is the main character.
Here's what you find out when you watch Song of the South. That shit is boring. It is dull. That's all you get from it except for the cartoon segments. The cartoon segments are fun and funny. They're enjoyable. They're entertaining. You people, you freaking woke mothers are just racist as hell. Just like the grocery store, you got rid of all the people of color, as you like to call them. But let's face it, since you do this to us, we're going to do it to you. We know what you're really saying. We know what you're really saying. You say people of color because you know you're going to get your ass kicked if you put color first in that particular phrase, you assholes. Now, here's the thing.
Go ahead. Sorry. I'll rant after you.
I'm going to freaking rant on this one because it pisses me off. Look, Splash Mountain needed to go because it needed to be closed down for a long time because it needs a top to bottom overhaul. I agree with that. Yeah. And once again, if the only reason or the only way we're going to get it is by changing everything, fine. but your reasons are shit. And not only does that affect this, but it affects our next article. And this one, you know what? I'm just
Okay.
Where is it?
And before we get there, I'm going to go on my portion of this rant, which is I don't think you're classically racist, SJWs. I think that what you want is basically a bunch of what you would refer to as the house N-words, namely that you are a bunch of rich, white, affluent people who only like black people or only like any given minority.
They do.
When they, but let me finish the sentence. You only like any given minority when they behave as you want them to behave, which in this case means buying into elaborate academic construct of blackness as an identity, gayness as an identity, any given POC thing as an identity, and how we define the parameters of that identity. I.e., and this is why whenever a person that you should be rooting for by your own standards has an independent thought outside of that framework, you come down on them worse than you come down on the worst racist white guy you can imagine, because they were supposed to behave the way you wanted them to behave, not the way they actually would choose to behave.
I had a great segue. I had a great segue there, and I want to get to it because I was saying you don't want people of color, as you put it, but like I said, we know what you're saying. You want to put that C right in front of the P. You're freaking racist to the point where you won't even want Indians in Walt Disney either. American Indians, not freaking Native Americans. Nobody's native to American. We all came across the Bering Strait.
Yeah, Siberian land bridge.
If you cared so much, then maybe you wouldn't call them by their freaking conqueror's name. They're American Indians, and now you're going to go after freaking Peter Pan. Alrighty. Now,
dear.
Yeah, let me see. I had the article up, so I apologize for that. I guess I lost it. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. Splash Mountain shuttered its doors. And let's see. Some who supported the retheme are now revisiting another classic fantasy ride at Disneyland Park in Magic Kingdom. Peter Pan's Flight features a stereotypical depiction of Native Americans. Do you mean sitting around their goddamn teepees? That's what they're doing, you jackasses. What do you mean stereotypical? This is like I actually read an article that said Michelle Yeoh is the first actress who identifies as Asian to get an Oscar nomination. She doesn't identify as goddamn Asian. She's fucking Asian.
Also, door number 2, because, you know, I have to logically parse things.
Indians
like
had teepees.
Okay,
that's all you see in the ride.
Yeah. Also, but door number 2 is that the Indians in Peter Pan are in Neverland, and in Neverland, everything is a child stereotype of any given culture because it's supposed to be the realm of childlike imagination. So they're not even depicting a real-life Native American culture. They're depicting the childhood imagination of Native American culture.
Let's take it off the ride right here. What is wrong with this? Nothing. You racist, you know what? Yes, you racist asshats. So long as there is a person who is not, I mean, it's amazing to me that you want frickin' Tiana in Adventureland. You do know she's black, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, these people. I swear to God. Let's see. Should Disney remove the Peter Pan ride after Splash Mountain removal? Talks of updating all Disney. I believe Peter Pan is another series that is incredibly outdated. You don't even know who is. Why are y'all listening to Reddit? Is Reddit even still a thing? Seriously.
Well, no, they're listening to the parts of Reddit that they like, and any parts of Reddit they don't like are thrown into the pile with the rest of us as the wrong thinkers.
Here's the thing, though. I would redo the Peter Pan ride because the ride system is old. Okay,
Yeah.
because the sound system in Peter Pan is old and it needs a refurbish. It needs an update. But there's no way that the Indians in Peter Pan are racist. You, by the way, are the ones who are racist.
And once again, if you go by the in-universe logic of Peter Pan, it's not any given a Native American or Indian culture you're even talking about. It's childhood imagination's perspective on Native American culture. Just like the pirates in Neverland aren't the pirates as history would actually depict them. They're the pirates that children would pretend to be when they're at play, because that's what Neverland is. It's the realm of childhood imagination where everything is a child stereotype of something.
By the way, MK, I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. Michelle Yeoh is the first person who identifies as Asian. She's a god dang Asian person. It's not an identification. You can't go, well, you know what? Today I'm going to be, no. Okay, no. Rachel Dolezal was a fucking liar. She wasn't actually black, guys. What's his name? Talcum X is a liar. He's not actually black, guys.
You mean Sean King? Is that the one you're referring to?
No, I'm gonna call him Talcum X. That's
well, no, I just wanted to clarify for anyone who hasn't heard that meme before. The person we're talking about is by the name of Sean King, and he is
so I
the
love
whitest black man in the history of ever.
As a kid, Peter Pan was one of my favorite rides. So, okay, so the comments here. Right away, Mr. Smee, no. This dude, Roy, says, this is lunacy. It's got to stop. It's like being in Wonderland and a Mad Tea Party. To state again, the film reflects a time period, which is fantasy. When the film was produced in the 50s, is how the world saw indigenous people, the Native Americans. But you point out that, no, it's how kids in the 50s saw them.
Because
take a look at
Neverland is the
network
world of
television
childhood
at the time.
imagination.
The majority were Western cowboy TV shows. The ideological movement has got to chill. What's next? Alice in Wonderland, Mad Tea Party? Oh, I beg your pardon. I meant the gentleman with the large hat who has an emotional carriage plowing his mind. Also, he's drowning a mouse in a teapot. If you look at the centerpiece of the teacups, not a lot of people notice, there is actually the dormouse is in the teapot.
Mm-hmm.
So he's being drowned. Okay, guys, what?
Yeah, I mean, if we're playing this game, then the Mad Hatter is mad because of mercury poisoning.
Please,
that's the impetus behind the phrase Mad Hatters, because hatters would use mercury to tan their leather, and it would linger in their brains, therefore cuckoo. But please don't do that. I don't want Alice in Wonderland destroyed.
Please, before any hot-tempered ideological movement is started, the bandwagon research, the time and era, the work you are attacking before you attack it, to try to understand the cultural differences and viewpoints of the past are not the same as today. This movement is trying to force the ideology of today interjected into the past. Also, I will say this, it just popped in my head, buy your movies. I love Disney movies. I like the older ones. I like the animated. I like the live action. And I sold them. I was like, oh, okay, wow, I can get them on. But nope. Before they do something.
Yeah, I had Peter Pan on VHS when I was a kid, and there were so many nights when I would just lie in bed watching Peter Pan because I had a TV in my room.
Love it.
And I would literally fall asleep to the instrumental rendition in the credits of Second Star to the Right. God, that was such a personal childhood memory now that I think about it. And they're going to destroy something else I love from my childhood.
Overall, this is the comments are no, just stop. Just effing stop.
And if you come after Alice in Wonderland, I personally will take up arms against you.
Let me think about this. Let's go around the park. Here. Now I'm going to start in Adventureland. In Adventureland, they did actually change a whole bunch. There was a scene where rhinos chased a whole bunch of what do you call safari goers up a tree, and the bottom guy was an Indian, I guess, carrier or something, an Indian guide. By that I mean actual Indian. And they changed that, so now the guy on the bottom's a white guy. Let's see. Oh, my favorite. By the way, they also got rid of the African natives who would like, yell at you while they had their spears in their hands. They got rid of those. But my favorite is that the woke complained that the apes looked too much like a black family destroying their home. And they changed it because the apes were racist.
Yep. The idiot
apes were the racist ones.
The idiot white supremacists of the 19th century thought that there was a connection between black people and apes, and therefore we can never ever do anything with apes again because black.
And hear what I'm saying. The people complaining about racism saw gorillas and thought black people, and Disney listened. That's the point of that particular conversation. They got rid of the headhunter, even though it was a joke, because you can't have somebody not white hunt heads or something. They are ridiculous in their pursuit. So let's move over to Pirates Caribbean. Where they're not pirates anymore, guys. There's a scene they used to sell. They used to have an auction, and they were selling the women of the village. I've seen this over and over and over and over again. Guess what? Married 30 freaking years. Don't tell me I don't know how to treat a lady. So here, hold on. Let me finish here. So the whole point is they had a non-attractive woman up on the stage. But there was a gorgeous redhead off to the side, and all the pirates, we want the redhead. They changed that, so now she's a pirate. And guess what they're selling to the pirates? Chickens. Like they can't steal in chickens.
I'm kind of amazed that they didn't disable the Jack Sparrow animatronic during the whole Johnny Depp debacle.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm glad they didn't, but if it had gone on any longer, or if it had come down in Amber Heard's favor rather than Johnny's, they probably would have.
One thing they did do, and this is a long time ago, and I thought it was a bad idea when they did it, and I still think it's a bad idea, because Pirates Caribbean is just gutted. It is neutered. But you would have a pirate chasing a woman, a pirate chasing a woman, a pirate chasing a woman, and then a woman chasing a pirate with a rolling pin. It was a joke. And of course, the feminists, who, by the way, will now tell you that if a man says he's a woman, he gets to have all your spaces. Feminism, thank you very much for winning the war of the sexes for the men. But they got rid of that joke. They have neutered that ride to the point I can barely stand it anymore. Now let's move on. We already talked about Splash Mountain.
Well, one last thing before we move on from pirates. Dear feminists, there are two major historical figures who were female pirates. Rather than quashing everybody else's fun, why don't you ask to be included in the reindeer game? Why don't you advocate for Anne Bonny and Mary Read to be involved in such things?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Anyway, you know what? It's a long rant, but they've done this to a lot of Disney stuff,
and they're going to keep going.
I want to refurbish Splash Mountain, but before we even get to that, I want them to treat Disney fans like they're lucky to have those fans.
Yeah.
Before I will be happy to go into the parks, I need that to happen. I might go if I could get in. Okay, sure, fine. I might go see the new stuff, but let's face it. I'm me. I'm not saying I'll never go again because that would be stupid. I just can't see a future where I do right now. So there you go. Anyway, guys, I just noticed it's 35 minutes here. So, you got the gist, and I'm tired of yelling.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to get it into their heads they need to just close down Frontierland, because we don't want to romanticize westward expansion. It hurts so many indigenous people.
Right. You know what? Maybe they should send a little flyer or two saying, you're an American. You can move wherever you want. All right, kids. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sorry for the rants. They're kind of fun.
They're very deserved rants. So
let us know what you think in the comments below. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching, and have a zippity doo dah day.